What up, fellas? It's Ty. Welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things prostate and prostate cancer related. If you're new here, welcome to you. Been here for a while, watched the video, maybe even liked and subscribed. I appreciate you, and welcome back to you as well. So today I want to talk to you about a question that I received, and I hadn't ever really thought about it. And so I imagine that there's at least one more person that had never really thought about it, and this could probably help. So I'm going to get right into it. The question was about incontinence and how do you know when to change the pad? I'd never really thought about that. As far as the pad is concerned, they'll tell you, oh, this pad holds a whole lot of water or liquid. I didn't have bad incontinence, but I never wanted to see the limit of that pad. I never wanted to see how much it could hold. And so I'd never really thought about it, but it was always a question in my mind. What in the world do you do to make sure that you change the pad in a timely fashion, all right? Us guys, we're walking around changing those things all the time. We're just not thinking about it that way, but we need to start, all right? So the thing is, for me, if my pad was wet, I immediately had to go to the bathroom a lot, right? Because it's a wet, dry pad, meaning that unless you have really, really bad incontinence, if you touch it, it doesn't feel wet. It feels almost dry, but if you go to the outside, you'll feel a heaviness and you're like, oh, this pad needs to be changed. And so I imagine that the larger pad, because I only wore the little light ones, the larger pad, and I'm sure that the pull-up version, I'm sure that both of those also have additional things. And I will defer to the group. I know it's not always easy to put that information in and to put your name out with these types of circumstances, but it will help someone. So if anyone is encouraged to do so, I would also say, look, if you have pretty bad incontinence or bad incontinence at all, it is very important that you share. I'm telling you, it's free. Share what's going on with your incontinence and whether or not, there's any tips that you have in regards to when to change the pad. I am sure it'll help someone. Again, I think it's freeing because you'll know that you're not the only one going through that. The other thing that I had is that the outside of the pad sometimes felt heavy. And so I would immediately know that if I touched the outside and kind of did the old Michael Jackson grab, I would immediately know that the pad was heavy and it needed to change, right? So that was my trigger, right? My trigger is even if I was wearing like underwear and I dripped a couple extra times or I had just a bit of leakage or whatever, I would immediately have to go to the bathroom a bunch. And I would know that I needed to insert a pad because that's what was going on until it stopped. So find your trigger and figure out what's going on. Make sure we get to the point as a community where we are changing these things appropriately so that they're not getting full and causing you to have an issue in front of people, by yourself, or at any other time. All right? So, hoping that the community will come together and, once the video is watched and we can share with one another and answer this question. Because again, I'm not in a position to answer it fully, so I'll answer what I can and I will defer to all of you. Hope this finds you well. Hope this is helpful. Peace and blessings, folks.